A peaceful home in Kings Mountain was shattered in a way no one saw coming. On September 1st, 2025, in the quiet community of Kings Mountain, North Carolina, a tragic incident unfolded inside a house that once felt warm and full of life. The victim was 49-year-old Letonya Gidney, a hardworking mother and beloved woman who had built her world through determination, kindness, and faith. On that early September day, she was found inside her home with multiple injuries, a discovery that stunned her family, friends, and the entire community. The harm she suffered was believed to have come from someone close to her, someone she once trusted deeply. But their identity was not yet publicly revealed at the time of the initial response. Law enforcement moved quickly. Cleveland County deputies arrived at the scene, began securing the home, collected evidence, and launched a full investigation to determine exactly what had happened and who was responsible. Their involvement marked the beginning of a search for clarity, accountability, and justice for a woman whose life touched many. This is the story of how a bright, hardworking spirit was lost, told softly and with respect so her memory can remain in the light. Letonya Gidney was born on March 18, 1976, in Shelby, North Carolina. Very little is publicly known about her childhood, her family background, or her education. What is known is that once she reached adulthood, she settled in Kings Mountain, North Carolina, in a home she owned. She worked incredibly hard, holding down 2 jobs at the same time. During the day, she served as a shipping loader at the Walmart distribution center. It was a demanding role that required lifting heavy items, work often assumed to be done by men, but she excelled at it with strength and dedication. Her work ethic stood out so much that her supervisors consistently acknowledged her efforts and rewarded her for her discipline and reliability. Her second job was in the bakery world. She became well known for her incredible pound cakes, so much so that people affectionately called her the Pound Cake Lady. Her life was progressing well. In her 40s, she was thriving. She had earned senior status at Walmart, owned a brand new Jeep, and had created a comfortable and stable life for herself. She also had a son named Rochelle, whom she had raised on her own from childhood to adulthood. Through hard work and love, she supported him until he became established as a professional makeup artist and cheerleader. He was her source of unwavering love and her greatest supporter. Letonya felt content with her small family and did not have the desire for more children. She valued her independence. One day, while working at her bakery side business, she met a customer named Michael Keith Bradshaw. Michael was in his 20s, a handsome young man with a rich chocolate complexion. He was still trying to figure out his direction in life, and although he did not have a consistent job, he was skilled with his hands and often found small repair jobs and odd tasks to keep himself afloat. Michael began showing interest in Letonya, which surprised her deeply because he was not much older than her son. She brushed off his advances at first, seeing them as something she should avoid. But Michael was persistent and did not give up easily. He was 13 years younger than her, but eventually his determination made her reconsider. She reminded herself that he was an adult, just younger, not a teenager. When he approached her again, she accepted his interest and allowed herself to step into something she hoped would be unique and beautiful. Even though Michael was nearly 30 and still not financially steady, she saw promise in him. By June 2018, their relationship had grown strong, and a little more than a year later, on August 24, 2019, they married in a beautiful ceremony held at Palmer Grove Baptist Church. It was a joyful day. Her son did her makeup and proudly walked her down the aisle, wanting more than anything to see his mother happy. After the wedding, Letonya decided to work on her fitness. She had gained weight and wanted to feel healthier. She committed to the gym, trained with a personal trainer, and walked the track with her husband. A year later, she celebrated her progress by posting about her slimmer figure. At 49, she was still doing very well and had grown more spiritually grounded. She posted frequently about God, motivation, and personal growth. She was active on social media, while Michael preferred staying off it and spending time at home. The same person she met years earlier, easygoing and steady, seemed unchanged. She continued celebrating their love publicly. On May 22, 2021, she posted a heartfelt anniversary message, praising Michael for always helping her and taking care of her. She described him as peaceful, loving, and everything she needed in a husband. She thanked God for him. On their second anniversary, August 24, 2021, she celebrated again, grateful that God had brought Michael into her life. She wrote that they had built their life together based on what they believed, not what others thought. She said that some people describe marriage as hard work, but she couldn't understand that because for her, being with someone she loved made it feel natural and easy. Letonya continued cherishing her marriage. In 2023, on their fourth anniversary, she thanked Michael for loving her, caring for her, and accepting her as she was. She said she loved him deeply and would always try her best to be the best wife possible. They planned to renew their vows the next year to mark their fifth anniversary. Over time, however, difficulties began to surface. Their home started experiencing conflict and, sadly, domestic issues developed. Police had to be called to their home for incidents of unrest. Despite this, Letonya stayed, telling herself that marriage required commitment through both good and challenging times. She experienced emotional and mental strain, but continued leaning on her faith, hoping things would improve. Over time, her tone changed. In 2024, she shifted her focus to education, returning to school to pursue certification as a personal trainer. She kept working and posting uplifting messages online, but she stopped sharing anniversary posts. Instead, her social media focused on fitness, scriptures, and birthday messages for her son Roche. Meanwhile, Michael seemed to fade from her online presence. He was rarely mentioned or seen. He spent time away from the house, showing that the relationship was weakening. Her posts became symbolic and cryptic, hinting that she felt challenged by people close to her. The joyful tone from earlier years was gone. On March 7, 2025, she posted about being 49, loving herself, and putting God first, without mentioning her husband. She had experienced emotional hardship, silence, and instability within her home. She had tried to give love, care, and loyalty, but in return, she faced temper, inconsistency, and distress from her partner. Eventually, she made up her mind. After 6 years of marriage, she realized her efforts to help Michael grow into a stable husband had not succeeded. Their marriage existed only on paper. On August 24, 2025, their anniversary, she posted nothing at all. Her silence spoke volumes. The relationship was truly over. Tragically, on September 1, 2025, just a week later, Letonya passed away. When Cleveland County Sheriff's deputies responded to her home at 116 Sandy Point Drive off Cherryville Road, they found the 49-year-old unresponsive from multiple wounds. The news devastated her community. Friends were shattered, her family was heartbroken, and her son Roche was deeply affected. During the investigation, her husband Michael became the primary suspect. He was arrested and officers noticed how his appearance had changed. The once youthful man she had met in her bakery looked worn down, his hair unkempt, his eyes tired, his face heavy with the weight of difficult years. He no longer resembled the persistent young man who once charmed her. Michael was charged with first-degree murder and held without bond at the Cleveland County Detention Center. The hope remains that justice will run its full course and honor the life Letonya lived. May Letonya Gidney Bradshaw rest in peace.